Hello guys, I'm back again, and today in this video what I'm going to show you how you would be able to create 3D GAN modeling. So this paper is being published in at the year of 2016, and research is being funded by Google, Facebook, something like that. So I come across this paper, I read what is 3D, how he is doing 3D object generation with some 2D input. Okay, they make the data set open source, so you can also get the data source and they are pre-trained weight. So I'll move forward. I have the data set and I plotted all the tested object. I test this program on chair dataset. It contains many objects, as once you have the dataset you would be able to see all the object. Um, so let's move forward. So what he proposed that you any that with the help of deep learning, convolutional neural network, TensorFlow, you would be able to create a 3D object using generative adversarial network CAD model with a 2D input image. Okay guys, so this is it's his model being proposed, and he synthesized shapes like this. You can see here chair, cars, I don't know what exactly it is, guns, table, and so on. So I don't have that much time because my research is not being funded. So I made, well, first I check what the test object I do have contained, and thereafter instead of creating direct 3D generative adversarial network like he is being proposed, I think I should make some novel research corresponding to this, and I wanted to check whether a recently published capsule net, which is very famous, which is getting very famous these days. So let me open the capsule net article and so yeah, here it is, one of the article. So it is being published and it is very famous because this is some new research is being coined after a very long time. And he proposed an idea that in that limitation of image processing, convolutional neural network can be resolved with the capsule routing, where an image, where even very high accurate model would be not able to identify the positional optimization of reconstructed image. Okay, I will explain the methodology of CapsuleNet in some other video, but he has coined this research, and he tested his dynamic capsule routing methodology on MNIST dataset, and the architectural viewpoint of CapsuleNet, it contain this part is very similar to the traditional convolutional neural network. Thereafter contain primary caps, maybe contain more than one primary caps, DG caps. The prime and the most important research corresponding to this primary cap, it actually introduce a squares function, which which create a non-linearity into the input data, into just like in the noise. And with the help of this thing, it would be able to learn very high dimensional features. Instead of learning that 2 is look like this 2, it it would be able to identify rotation and even if some pixel being altered. I will explain this concept in detail later on, because there is so much to be discussed, but this is the only research which is which I can say the something novelty is being proposed after so long time, because primary the most successful model, which is not being awarded, but Google claimed it, that is GoogleNet, and that was also haven't done anything. They just increase the number of layer to increase the accuracy. Prior to that thing, the most successful was ResNet, and prior to that thing was AlexNet in 2015. So there is since 2000 to 2017, there is not a significant change happen with the introduction of new architectural machine and high power GPU and big data. They just keeps on introducing more and more layer, and will be trying to achieve more accuracy. So this time they have done this thing on capsule layer on classification system. So I thought an idea that I should do something different. So I search on Google what is CapsuleNet, and in how many field it is being implemented. So I came across that CapsuleNet is also already implemented with GAN 2D. So capsule GAN, they coined this term as a capsule GAN. So I thought if I'll do the capsule GAN, that is not create any significant that will not do any significant involvement in the current research. So what I do, I merge capsule with this 3D latent space object 3D generative adversarial network. Okay, so I have this test data. So to show you guys, you can obtain the data. It contain larger it contain almost 100 type of different chairs, and there are various other type of like aeroplane, guns, table, and things like that, monitors. And these things are CAD model. The application of these modeling is in variety of field. Okay, and why do I introduce CapsuleNet? Because it has benefit that if you can take any the picture in any in any position, my model would be able to create a really realistic 3D outcome CAD model. So let me show you my model. I give you a brief explanation, very quick, without wasting any time, and then I'll move to the validation part and I'll show how it works. Okay guys, so instead of creating, let me show you my generative model, and let me open the proposed model. You know, it has 5 layer, 1 2 3 4 5th, and 5th is being created 64 by 64 by 64 voxel space 3D chair, while I just reduce one dimension, because capsule is already squashing the input so much that I don't have very that much time, so that so that I can wait for longer time to get an output. So I just I created only 4 layer. Here you can see the difference with my model in generative. Then I'll go for discriminative model. Let me make it, yeah. So the main difference in between my model and his model in generative, so I, instead of using generative with 4 by 4 matrix, I go for 8 by 8, which reduce one layer size, and it will generate with an stride of 111. It will generate a tensor layer of weight matrix 16 by 16 by 16, having 256 filter, and further we'll generate 32 by 32 by 32 matrix with 128 filters, and finally 64 by 64 by 64, and this is my three-dimensional model with an overlapping of one layer, four-dimensional. So I use convolutional layer 3 convolutional 3D transpose for generating this model. The same he did, but he did in PyTorch. I use TensorFlow because I'm not very skilled in PyTorch. Okay guys, and so generator model is different. The same is the discriminator model. I'll explain you how the discriminator model is look like, and then I will explain how where the CapsuleNet is being introduced. The same, but in the reverse order. I will show you the weight matrix, which makes you very much clear that I have an input dimensional image having size 32 by 32 by 32, which is being fed to the convolutional 3D convolutional layer, okay, with an stride of 1 2 2 2. It reduces the size of output matrix corresponding to the weight matrix, and I'll be getting an output of 256 512. okay, these are the number of filter which is further being processed and processed and processed, and finally I'll be obtaining at 128 filter layer size with 8 by 8 by 8 size of voxel, which is further I squashed over here. I'll show you. This is my weight matrix fourth. Then my CapsuleNet architecture is being started. Okay, and I introduce the primary capsule here. I use only one single capsule in 3D GAN. Okay, squashing is done here. The squash function is a really novel introduction in CapsuleNet, so I must give you an overview how it is look like. So they have already explained squashing, but this is not I'm looking for. So this is the squash function. Okay, a deep neural network, simply mathematical operation which approximate nonlinear relationship between existing data. And why they do this thing, this squash function I have here. Okay, you can just go to the Google and find the squash. There are various available squash function over there. So I don't think I should waste so much time in describing this thing, but what exactly the task of this squash function is to make sure that each weight in input matrix is a non-negative number and their sum is equal to the squash function find the probability of feature like rectangle and any type of shape is present there or not. The primary squash, after primary squash, we apply dense layer. Dense layer is simple architecture and get the unhat and then output matrix. So here the digicap comes into existence. It further process the data and in the form of a function inside the function like recursion. I guess you guys heard about it. Basically get a process data and it further process it and then multiply the processed and further processed data with itself, okay, to see how much high dimensional analysis can be obtained with feature vector. Okay, to avoid the non-linearity, instead of using ReLU, they use I have used leaky ReLU, and in the articles they have also used leaky ReLU. Thereafter secondary digicap does it do the same function, and the third digicap perform the same thing. So it's time to how the GAN architecture is being set. I guess if you guys never read about GAN, so I give you an overview. It basically what it do, it generate an output with some input, with 2D input or any type of noise. After generating output, like the output generation is always done by generator. Okay, it takes a 2D input and it generate an output. That output is fed to the discriminator. The task of the discriminator is to discriminate, GAN, generative adversarial network. Adversarial stand for discriminator, but it introduces a noise in the output, okay, on which is being generated with a random vector. And also discriminator is also being fed with the actual vector, which is the 3D structure. Okay, we can say it is the original generated and it is fake generated. Okay, so the fake generated and original generated is further computed, is help for the noise. The fake generated, the original generated is being compared with the non-sigmoid output of discriminator, but only the ones, like how many ones are they contain, and the fake generated is being compared with the output of the fake discriminator, that how many zeros likes are being created. The sum of this thing represent the discriminator loss. The lower the loss, more the output. Okay, the sigmoid function, most of the article and most of the people use sigmoid, and there is only negative of logarithmic of logits, and label is also would be good to use. Okay, and the same for generative loss. We do not compare the generative loss with an original outcome. We compare the generative loss with the fake outcome of discriminator. Okay, so that the in every iteration, whenever the generative loss is being reducing, it learn that how the generator is being capable to create a logical output with any arbitrarily random image. Okay, this is all about GAN 3D, my modeling, and it is the traditional thing. If you don't know about the TensorFlow and other things, you can come to the go to my other video where I explain the basic of TensorFlow and how the weight matrix and bias and things like that work. Okay, so I run this model for around 3.5 hours, and I generated some weights where which is being put here. This is my weight matrix I obtained corresponding to best output, and prior to run this generator model, I would show you my sum of best output, because I have already put it here. So these are the output I have obtained in 3500 epoch. Okay, and then I stop and I come to here to make the video with 3D CapsuleNet. So I'll show one of the output, okay, and how it is being produced. Uniform random distribution of noise will be fed into the generator, okay guys, and it will produce an output vector, okay, once the session is run. And then output vector, I have used only the batch size of 1, I guess 2 batch size. The first output I'll show with the help of matplotlib, but for creating of but showing of these output like this, I have used MATLAB instead of using matplot. But I'm on this computer and Linux, and I don't have MATLAB in Linux, so I have to use matplotlib. So let's run this code and see what output we will obtain. I hope you guys, I try to explain, but even I fail somewhere, just let me know. I would be happy to explaining you, and I take consultancy charges in a very reasonable amount. So I have posted this video on YouTube, and the explanation and output is already also I put on GitHub, so you guys can see the output and pre-trained weights of my model. So this output I have obtained by running this architecture. Each model is being trained with a particular specific type of chair, while at the time of training it being processed with all type of chair. So guys, I'm done for today. I have so this is all about my 3D capsule GAN, and I built this model for selling purpose, so anybody who want to buy it, just let me know. And this idea is not being published yet. So thank you guys, and thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you after some time. Bye bye.